Europe history. The vast expanse now known as Europe began its discernible journey not with empires or kings, but with the primal stirrings of humankind. From the icy grip of glacial epochs, early hominids etched their existence onto the continent's nascent canvas. Hunter-gatherer societies, nomadic and adaptable, roamed the sprawling landscapes. Their legacy, though elusive, is evidenced by ancient cave paintings and rudimentary tools, silent testaments to a burgeoning human ingenuity. The gradual recession of the last ice age, commencing approximately 10,000 BCE, heralded profound environmental shifts. This transition enabled new forms of subsistence and fostered more sedentary lifestyles. The Neolithic Revolution, originating in the Near East and slowly migrating westward, introduced agriculture and animal husbandry. This profound innovation fundamentally reshaped human societies, leading to permanent settlements and increased population density. Early agricultural communities began to form across the fertile river valleys and plains. The Danube, Rhine, and other major waterways became arteries for the spread of these transformative practices and associated cultural advancements. The advent of metallurgy, initially copper and then bronze, marked a new epoch. The Bronze Age saw the emergence of more complex social structures, specialized labor, and long-distance trade networks, particularly for valuable ores. The Minoan civilization on Crete, flourishing from around 2700 BCE, stands as a sophisticated early example of organized European society. Its palatial complexes and maritime prowess demonstrated a remarkable level of cultural and economic development. Contemporaneously, the Mycenaean civilization on mainland Greece ascended, inheriting and adapting many Minoan influences. Their fortified cities and martial culture would lay foundational myths and heroic narratives for later Greek identity. The collapse of these Bronze Age civilizations, around 1200 BCE, ushered in a period of disruption and decline, often termed the Greek Dark Ages. Migrations and invasions reshaped the Aegean and surrounding regions. Emerging from this obscurity, the Iron Age brought new technologies and a decentralization of power. Across Europe, various tribal groups began to differentiate and coalesce, forming distinct cultural identities. In the Mediterranean, the rise of the Greek city-states, or polis, marked a pivotal development. These independent political entities, though often rivalrous, shared a common language, religion, and cultural framework. Athens and Sparta, paramount among the city-states, developed contrasting political and social systems. Athenian democracy and Spartan militarism provided enduring models and debates for political philosophy. The Persian Wars in the early 5th century BCE saw the Greek polis unite against a formidable Eastern Empire. Their victories at Marathon and Salamis solidified a sense of shared Hellenic identity and preserved their autonomy. The subsequent Golden Age of Athens witnessed unparalleled achievements in philosophy, drama, architecture, and science. Figures such as Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Aeschylus, and Sophocles shaped Western thought. However, internal strife led to the Peloponnesian War, a protracted conflict between Athens and Sparta that severely weakened the Greek city-states, leaving them vulnerable to external powers. To the north, the Kingdom of Macedon under Philip II gradually asserted its dominance. His military reforms and diplomatic prowess paved the way for Macedonian hegemony over Greece. Philip's son, Alexander the Great, inherited this powerful kingdom and embarked on an unprecedented campaign of conquest. His expeditions forged an empire stretching from Greece to India, spreading Hellenistic culture. Upon Alexander's death, his vast empire fragmented into successor kingdoms, the Diadochi, which nonetheless continued to propagate Greek influence across the eastern Mediterranean for centuries. Meanwhile, on the Italian peninsula, a burgeoning power was taking shape. Rome, initially a small city-state, gradually expanded its control through military might and sophisticated political organization. The Roman Republic, established in 509 BCE, developed a complex system of governance with elected magistrates, a senate, and popular assemblies, balancing aristocratic and plebeian interests. Through a series of Punic Wars, Rome decisively defeated Carthage, its primary rival in the Western Mediterranean. This victory secured Rome's naval supremacy and opened the way for further expansion. Roman legions, disciplined and effective, conquered vast territories, incorporating diverse peoples into its burgeoning dominion. Roads, aqueducts, and legal systems linked these disparate regions. Internal tensions and civil wars, fueled by ambition, social inequality, and military power, gradually eroded the republican institutions. Figures like Marius, Sulla, and Julius Caesar vied for control. The assassination of Julius Caesar precipitated further turmoil, ultimately leading to the rise of Octavian, Caesar's adopted son. His victory at Actium in 31 BCE marked a definitive end to the Republic. Augustus, adopting the title Augustus, consolidated power and initiated the Roman Empire. This period, known as the Pax Romana, brought 2 centuries of relative peace and prosperity across the vast empire. Roman law, engineering, and Latin language spread throughout Europe, shaping the administrative and cultural landscape of future nations. Cities flourished, adorned with impressive public works. The empire reached its greatest territorial extent under Trajan in the early 2nd century CE, stretching from Britain to Mesopotamia. Its formidable frontiers protected a diverse population. However, internal stresses, economic instability, political succession crises, and external pressures from barbarian tribes began to challenge the empire's enduring stability. The 3rd century crisis saw a rapid succession of soldier emperors, civil wars, and economic decline. Despite reforms by Diocletian and Constantine, the inherent vulnerabilities remained. The division of the empire into eastern and western halves by Diocletian, though intended to improve administration, ultimately fostered divergence. Constantinople became the new capital of the East. The adoption of Christianity as the official state religion under Theodosius I in the late 4th century CE profoundly transformed the empire's spiritual and cultural identity, laying foundations for medieval Christendom. Increasing pressure from Germanic tribes, displaced by the Huns, led to mass migrations across the Roman frontiers. The Visigoths sacked Rome in 410 CE, a symbolic blow to imperial prestige. The traditional date for the collapse of the Western Roman Empire is 476 CE, when the last Western emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed. This event ushered in the epoch known as Late Antiquity or the Early Middle Ages. In the East, the Byzantine Empire, centered in Constantinople, continued to thrive for another 1,000 years, preserving Roman law, Greek learning, and Orthodox Christianity, profoundly influencing Eastern Europe. In the West, various Germanic kingdoms emerged from the ruins of the Roman Empire: the Ostrogoths in Italy, the Visigoths in Hispania, the Vandals in North Africa, and the Franks in Gaul. The Frankish kingdom, particularly under Clovis I, grew in power and converted to Nicene Christianity, forging a crucial alliance with the papacy and laying the groundwork for a new European order. The monastic movement, gaining momentum from figures like Saint Benedict, played a vital role in preserving classical knowledge and fostering education amidst the period of political fragmentation. The rise of Islam in the 7th century CE and its rapid expansion across North Africa, the Middle East, and into Hispania presented a new cultural and geopolitical challenge to Christian Europe. Charles Martel's victory at the Battle of Tours in 732 CE halted the Muslim advance into Western Europe, solidifying the Frankish position as a bulwark against further incursions. The Carolingian Renaissance under Charlemagne aimed to revive learning, culture, and imperial administration. His coronation as Emperor of the Romans in 800 CE marked a symbolic attempt to recreate a unified Christian empire in the West, setting the stage for the High Middle Ages.